All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PCM ITA Road Cup semifinals of Tour tonight, and we will be following Group A. I'll quickly look at the composition of both groups and tell it. We have Group A has oh yeah, that's correct. Group A has Hush, Paso, Joe Whiteley, Yubi El Colombiano, also known as Herrera, and Ghosty. Quick look at Group B while we load and we check the actual screen. Quick look, quick look. Where's Group B? Oh, it is Banyong, Goga, Swagson, John Gacho, Alder, and Tim. So, we go back to the one we're following, Group A, and Stage 1, Bilbao Udaxtan. I don't know how to spell that shit. 208.2 kilometers, and I'm joined here by Swags that will be playing Group A. Welcome,
No,
Swags.
I'll definitely play. I'm just gonna keep
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
this.
yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Meanwhile, speaking of joining, as always, this stream is directed by our select director, Emea, administrator of PCM ITA, and we are waiting for the lobby to which with a mail doing the actual hosting, this can take a while. Okay, to go. Oh wait, I was actually looking at the stream. There we go. I'm looking at the
Watch
actual
out!
feed
A team leader is falling
and
behind.
am adjusting Ryan and the rest of his riders. Mullen, Dunbar, blah 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 blah. Why is it paused? Oh, maybe the problem might be lack of skill. But I like Kashiyoshi. So we're gonna do a quick re because Hush uh, took a wrong rider. And we'll be soon looking or commentating the parkour. Let me see if I can find it so I can tell you for posterity what's being done today. Semifinals is this first stage that we've seen, medium mountain hilly, so to speak, more hilly than anything. But the second stage is a flat stage with two wind sections. The first one is right at the beginning. The dictator of PCM Italia says EMEA. Okay. Correction noted. Second stage is a flat one. Two wind sections. First is around 10 kilometers, give or take, right at the beginning of the stage. There's an intermediate sprint and a small KOM, third cat, and then the final section is a windy one, except for the finish, around 4 kilometers, I would assume, looking at this. Uh, do not have bordures, so this will be a tactical stage if well played. Then we have the mountains with Andorra la Vella and Cortes d'Ancão. And it has quite the KOMs for those that are actually interested in those jerseys. We have three Cat 1s, one Cat 2, an HC, and I assume that they are likely steep, so this should be very interesting. And then oh, please tell me this isn't the final stage. Wow. And then the final stage is a Merivelle La Roche-sur-Foron mountain stage 166. It's actually might be interesting because after two Cat 1s, one Cat 2, and another Cat 1, the final climb of the day is the second Cat, and there's a downhill, so we might see some fun attacks here. Of course, it was an idea of Grassi, so okay, we'll see how it goes. As I said, these stages, if they are good and they are well played, they can actually be fun when ending on downhill and small flat because you can actually see some breaks and the management comes into a big play because those with the good bars will actually push on those final climbs and try to attack and make the gap so they can take the downhill ahead and possibly maintain that gap and win. So we'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, let me check what Emmy is saying. Ah, okay, okay. So if it doesn't work, I blame Grassi. If it works, I blame Grassi as well. Sounds about right.
It only takes 15 kilometers for Gatcho to start complaining. Good start.
Naturally. So, viewers are not watching the magic of John Gotcho in Group A. Anyway, go back to our group. Goga is streaming Gotcho group. Oh, that's nice, but we're actually gonna follow A. Oh, yes. Also, I was reminded now, we have a message from our sponsor as the race loads part two, because it's always important to mention those who pay money for us to keep in business. This stream is sponsored by the Ban Daniel Miko movement, trying to ban Miko since 2020. We've managed to get him banned or disqualified out of three tournaments during the last couple of seasons. Uh, all we ask is some donations, some money to keep us in the business up and in Miko. All the proceedings go directly to ban him. Um, give us your money. Donate now. Give us your fucking money. Okay, thank you. As the stage starts and we begin in the flat, everyone's making their trains yet. And they already backed his riders. And we're waiting to see the first strike. Let's see. Perhaps in this group we'll actually have some interesting tactical choices. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Miko free group. Never mind. Actually, this is a Miko free semifinal. So there's that. As Ilgan de Fravo already is positioning some riders in the front, let's see if he's the first one to strike. Always very aggressive as a player. He's not afraid to attack. For those of you that know Frabo, he has won some stages with that tendency, but obviously, on the other side of things, has also lost quite a few. We are talking about the Champions League winner of Tour, Frabo. Yes, that happened. Yes. PCM Italia would like to apologize to our viewers for having Frabo in the Champions League jersey, but yes, that happened. This is a message from Mail. As we continue, we see a mass team for some bizarre reason, and we have an attack. Marcus Burkhardt. I'm going to assume that that's the Ghost Man, indeed. And Yubi actually is with. Oh, that's an actually good Germany 2 jersey. I hope that is a Germany jersey, but at least it's very distinctive from the other. Pretty cool. So we will have no mess and no mix ups in trying to distinguish the players. Surprised to see that no one else has still tried to join. Boston still uh, apparently sorting out his riders, and he's already pacing, I believe. Yes, he is with Stivar. In the meantime, speaking of aggressive players, I also would expect, and there he goes. As I was going to speak about him, El Colombiano, also a very offensive player, already sending three guys ahead. And hold on, yeah, all right. Keep me posted. Uh, as I was going to say, El Colombiano is a one of those offensive players we were discussing as well. Also very keen to attack very frequently. Sometimes also has the fruits for that labor. Sometimes not, like everything in life. But the fact of the matter is that right now we have um, 9 men in E1. El Colombiano trying to catch up in E2. Um, and he joins, so we already have a break with a 1 minute and 10 seconds lead. There's Yubi, there's Ghosty, there's Bravo, and El Colombiano. Everyone seems to be relaying in the front except El Colombiano that just arrived. Let's see if he will actually place some help or just sit in the wheel. And the 110 gap, for some bizarre reason, is actually very stable right now as we face the first bump of the day, not even a classified climb. And everything seems to go well in the. Oh, wait, someone is moving. Wonder if it's Paso. No, it was seems like one of those temporary gaps. And now the lead is starting to grow 1.5 minutes. As we are 34.8 kilometers away from the first classified climb of the day, a third cat, followed by many other third cats, and the final climb of the day is a second cat with an intermediate sprint somewhere in the middle, as you guys can see after the fourth. So these are the first points of the day for those looking to get those extra points of the secondary jerseys. Here is Huss. Is yet to join the break, is relaying in the front with Basso. Basso also not attacking. Thought Basso was not going to play PCM until the World Championship. Obviously, I never believed that. And 2 minutes already. Trying to see who has who. I see 78 Mountain Rider for El Colombiano. 73, I think it was as well. And the 78 Sprinter. 85 Sprinter, actually, I think it was for Ghosty. Interesting choices here. Yeah, Ush has everyone, so Pasto as well. Oh, Ghosty has actually has his 78 Mountain in the peloton. So, no leaders in the front, if I saw correctly. Here's the Puncher, Ackerman. We did El Colombiano bring and Frabo. I think those two we haven't seen yet. El Colombiano's right there. F. Stockman here, which is a Puncher from Ghosty. Alright, let me just check the composition of the break. Alright, so right now we have the rosters as well, which is pretty interesting to see. UB chose for this tour the 82, the 78, and the 76 Mountain, the 80 Flat Rider, 78 Sprinter, and the Puncher. Uh, 78 Sprinter and the Puncher, yeah, same selection, sorry, as Hush, same selection as Fravo. Actually, I think everyone chose those guys, except Ghosty that took the 85 Sprinter instead of the 78. So 5 of the 6 chose the same roster, which is the 82, the 78, the 76 Mountain, the 80 Flat, and the 78 Sprinter, as long with the Puncher. Instead, Ghosty opted for the first 3 Mountain Riders, the 80 Flat, the Puncher, and the 85 Sprinter. So that's an interesting choice, and we'll see how it pays up. And right now, uh, the gap is being well controlled by both Hashi and Basso, as it's now a little bit below 2 minutes once again. 1:45 give or take at this point. And we are 12.3 away from the first KOM points of the day. Alto de ITA, I hope I pronounced that well. And it's Hush with Petit and Basso relaying with him. Still be behind those two. Ah, okay. I don't know. Someone was closing the gap. Okay, it's good. It's good. So here we have Molano, 78 sprinter for El Colombiano. One other thing I wanted to see who was there from him. But I guess Quintana must be the 78 Mountain was there as well. So some similar choices for some in the breakaway. Interesting to see if Ghosty's choice of the sprinter pays off or not. Yes, naturally. Naturally, as if I cared about that. You know, I can actually pronounce it. So, never mind that. As we begin the first climb of the day, the first categorized one, 4.4 kilometers, 216 meters of altitude at 4.7% average of steepness. And of course, as I expected, no less, El Colombiano moves to the front, trying to get, as Ronnie O'Sullivan would say, them ranking points. In this case, some KOM points. And 1.5 away. I think UB on the left side is going to try and put up a fight. El Colombiano going at it with all his riders, though. And Juan Sebastian Molano will cross the finish line. I think he passed him actually. Not sure. But I think it was Igita, Molano, and Quintana in third place. So probably one of them or two top scores. So the actual 78 climber did not score. True. I mean, I wouldn't say useful though. I would say uh, not a big deal. So, not a big deal. Uh, but Emir was reminding me that most points will be in the Andorra stage, which is true. Could be a jersey for the puncher. Could be for 78 Mountain Rider, depends on how people play. I will just say that it's probably better to not play for the 78 Mountain for anything in this TV for the most part. That's my personal opinion and pet peeve with it.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Okay, the break has re-established its gap and increased it to 3 minutes 12 seconds. And Basso and Hush do not seem concerned about the possibility of this break getting some of the KOMs. They are controlling. There's some steep climbing to be done at some point, which is interesting. And I guess they're not concerned about those points because, as I mentioned, there are more ahead and far more important stages for them, and they will be controlling this break until they can reel it in. Meanwhile, just do a quick check here. Yeah, that final second fact is actually very interesting. Will be uh, place for some interesting effects. Meanwhile, thank you for everyone watching, and also thank you to those that might eventually watch this for posterity. There's always some good things to review later on in time, like the PCM ITA Cup semifinals. Don't forget the upcoming World Championship starting already at the beginning of next month. Uh, Also organized by PCM Italia with the help of yours truly, as well as Swaxon that's here, muted of course because he's playing, Joe Whiteley and Ben Young. So from the ITA side we have Grassi, we have Emil obviously, we have it's wait I think it's I think let me quickly check. Alfonso Civettini is one of them, and the other one is Simone indeed, so that's correct. And those are your. Wait, is it? I checked the wrong server. Let me see who it even is. Orga. If you remember all these names. Fibettini and yeah, and Simone actually was correct.
Watch out,
So
a team
those
leader
are
is
the
falling
organizers
behind.
of your upcoming World Championships, brought to you, like I said, by PCM ITA. And back to the race. Also, they will be streamed by the IMA, as obviously will be there, and we'll also see some streams from the actual players in the early stages. Obviously, we will try to bring you uh, as much content in the IMA with center courts as many times as we can. But thankfully, there's also always the help of some of the players that help us stream with their own Twitch accounts, and they do a great work. So thank you to all of them. Meanwhile, I missed something. Is someone moving from the peloton? Yeah, check that. It's Bravo, Posty. They're moving with everyone, and
There's a rider
Hirsch
right
is
over
left
your way,
behind
watch.
with Alcol. No, it's Bravo, Basso are the ones, and Hush. Everyone else is trying to gain the gap somehow. I have to admit, I didn't see what happened there. No, Hush is here. I'm so confused what happened here. And meanwhile, Molano takes yet another KOM. Okay, yeah. Here is Hush in E2. I think he team attacked maybe. Alcomiano is here. Ghosty as well, yeah. And behind it's Paso, Yubi, and Fravo that got left behind somehow. I don't know if it was an attack, if they took advantage of a gap, but interesting situation right now because Paso, especially Paso that has no one in the front, actually has to put work as soon as he can to close this gap that might hurt his race if he doesn't close it soon. Oh, Hush team attacked. Ghosty followed immediately. El Colmiano later. Okay, thank you, Emma. I was actually checking the World Championship info I was giving at the time. So yeah, it's actually Basso in a very delicate situation, but he seems to be reacting well. Seems to be closing it quickly. Um, Frabo and Yubi in his coattails, obviously, because they have men ahead. They don't need to worry as much as he does, and they can play the cold game, the long game, and let him do the work because Basso definitely can't risk getting left here. He's about to close the gap, and Bravo moving behind him, close to avoid gaps in that group. Uh, it's good to see when someone that's not working actually cares about closing the gaps because the rest of the people working to do everything, they'll just tell you to fuck off, and probably rightfully so. All right, Peloton is back together, 24 men. The other 12 continue in the break, but with these moves, advantage is now only 2.5 minutes when there's still 5 climbs and one intermediate sprint ahead. So Hirsch definitely tried. Uh, Seemed like he could be in the way of something, but Lasso was quick to respond. Meanwhile, we see Emea managing his riders, and the situation remains unchanged, so we'll follow the break into the next KOM as it's about to come in 7 kilometers and a half. A bit less now. Yeah, when you can, moving to one. Yeah. 5-4 to go again. Al Colombiano in the front. Let's see if someone fights him this time for those points. That gives him a bit more competition. Yubi was trying to get ahead, a block. Now it's Ghosty and Al Colombiano a bit behind now. The Germans are taking the lead right now, but there's still 3.7 to go. Bravo is riding the wave. I don't think he cared that much, at least so far, about those points. If he did, he failed miserably, like everyone else, you know. And now El Colombiano steadily but quickly arrives at the front next to Yubi with 2 kilometers to go. And let's see how they do this, how they play this out. Who's going to move first? I'm going to assume El Colombiano might actually try to do the first strike here for those points. Yubi very well placed though. And El Colombiano, there he goes, trying to put the speed. Did not see a response from Yubi, slowed down for a bit, and gets enough speed with Olano just to get a 1-2, I think. With the break going ahead 3 minutes once again. Yeah, I have no idea. I was wondering that myself. Why is it taking KOM points with the 78 sprinter? Asked them. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I know if I was playing inline, for
It's a
example,
puncture.
uh, I would definitely do that because sprinters are actually good riders to take some mountain points, just not to fight for a KOM jersey that's still gonna have mountains to come. So I don't know why he's not taking the spot with the 78 mountain, to be honest. At least the this might be the only thing I can remember out of the blue is that he's saving his 78 mountain for when harder stages come, while making sure no one else takes the lead of the jersey with the 78 sprint. It's the only thing that comes to my mind. There we have Gita the Puncher and El Colombiano's third rider. Also, finally was going and took one. I think two score here. Is that correct? Emil, show me quickly. It's a 2-1. Yeah. So Yubi finally gets becomes actually the first person to score a KOM point this
We're into
evening,
the
not
last third of the
being
race. We'll
El
soon know
Colombiano.
the final
Still, El
outcome.
Colombiano already scored 8 points. Although now it was with Igita, so I think Milano has 6 points by now. So Igita the Puncher might be an interesting player for this jersey, especially with stages that will come and the breaks that probably will happen in them. A lot of downhill where we will have the intermediate sprint, and that's now Ghosty
Look
positioning
out,
himself
he's breaking
in the
away.
front. Meanwhile, Venturini attack, we'll look into that in a little bit. Let's just see the
Hornet
intermediate
goes into the attack.
sprint seems to go for Pascal Ackermann, and there he goes, paying off some dividends in the first sprint of the night. Meanwhile, we had a move from Clement Venturini, and don't see it. But Ileranissimo Fabo is actually attacking alongside with El Colombiano, so yet again, someone trying to move with their leaders. And again, it's Paso that continues to do the honors, so to speak, of relaying in the peloton because uh, he has actually no one at the front. And I'm not even sure Hush. I don't think Hush has anyone else other than those four guys. Uh, so, oh, he has indeed a guy there helping, I think. So, uh, 232 and another climb to go. It's becoming 51 seconds already that E3 has for the peloton, and at 55 to go, if they work well, both of them, and cooperate, this might be an interesting move that can. Oh, and El Colombiano already sending someone behind to help, which I'm going to assume is the 78 sprinter. Quick check him here. Guy on the left. Yes, it's Milano over here. So, someone else moving again from the peloton. Uh, it's someone from Ghosty. I don't know if it was. I think it was weird move. And now Basso putting all the pace in the world that he can to try and close this. It's already 113 right now. And Hush needs to be careful to not get dropped there. Because he also has no one at the front, and it would be terrible for him to lose the wheel of Basso that has been putting quite the pace. Meanwhile, another KOM. And UB and El Colombiano right now 5 riders ahead at this point. Meanwhile, Frabo and El Colombiano continue their long distance move. And I think I was gonna say I think maybe El Colombiano will get distracted because he's managing
Attack
behind
by
as well, but no,
Sergio
he takes it
Higuita.
with Higuita and Quintana in second. Here comes Ghosty with Chuckman and Pollitt. So a lot of people now trying to do what they can in a situation that was created a while back by I believe Frabo and El Colombiano. And Ghosty now sent everyone he had behind because there was a gap, and he wants to as well catch these guys. And right now, uh, the move still has over 1 minute, so this might be an interesting battle. With all of this happening, let's see what actually happens to the breakaway. They had like 3 minutes. Now they are down to 2.5, give or take. 2:29 maybe. And we have UV with a 78 Mono Rider. Alcolmiano probably not that interested in relaying right now. Although E2, the gap is shortening, which is also killing the break. Uh, if they could keep this gap until the next climb, this could be an interesting scenario. Let's see. Ghosty, Bravo, no, Ghosty, Basso. A lot of people are right now trying to get there, but it's gap is steady right now. Interesting. And at this rate, the break will eventually be cut. Molano is already dead, ended his job for the day. I'm gonna guess that's Ackerman. And see, four man. Numbers are similar for some people. The gap is going short. 40 seconds to the Alcomiano group that has Bernal in it. I don't know what happened to Bravo. I think he was absorbed or just. So here we have Alcomiano ready to catch his actual guys in the front to now try and help Bernal keep that lead.
The
And
riders are in
he
a portion above
bridges to
10%.
them. Let's stick here in the front. Yeah, see how this goes. Frau is here. Eleganissimo Frau is here with Pedersen. And now Boosty with Stork also putting pace. But Alcombiano is now increasing the gap yet again on Urbia. Collado de Urbia, I believe. 423 meters, 2.6 kilometers of distance at 9.2 average. 34 seconds. The gap is going down, and this might be all she wrote for Alcomiano's attempt, as things are about to get closed right about now. And here we go.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
So, Basso Tree Riders, Alcomiano Tree, Hush Tree. I think everyone is down to 3 at this point, if I'm watching correctly. Don't know who joined, but let me check.
Nacho is
I,
complaining, as per
of,
usual. He's calling people rats.
of course he is. The gotcha scenes are always hilarious. But right now we have an interesting stage here in Group A. Just quickly check something. There we go. All right, 18.3 to go until the final climb of the day. A steep second cat, and from there a downhill, and a little bit of flat at the end. The finish is in 17 kilometers. Everyone is on the main group now. The peloton has 17 riders, and it was an interesting stage, that's for sure. We had several
The
attack
riders are putting
attempts with
through a
leaders,
massive
an
portion
interesting
with
break,
percentages above 10%.
and
The finish line is getting close. The riders
now
just
it's
passed the
Frabo at
15
the front with
kilometers road sign.
Hershey. Let's see if he actually makes a move for it. He's definitely well positioned. Someone will definitely try and get a gap on this climb. Berto de Otsondo. Hart's following Ghosti close to Frabo as well. Frabo is down to his leader only, I believe. And Ghosti in the front now. Basso and Hush trying to follow Colmiano from behind, and Yubi also placed a little bit behind, but all in the same group. And it's now Ghosty making uh, a little bit of acceleration, and it's down to his leader. Let's see. See if someone can actually. It's Basso that's actually going to try and follow him. Yeah, Brenner is done. So Ghosty down to his leader. Here comes Basso. Everyone is still in. I don't know what happened to El Colombiano there, but let's see if he can stay in.
There's now
And
just 10
everyone's going
kilometers
to be
left.
together at the climb. But Basso attacks with
Any more
Walter.
obstacles
There we
ahead?
go.
It could be decisive.
Quickly followed by Husky. 9 guys ahead. Let's see the
Oh, but
carnage
yeah,
of the
that's a
last.
sprint.
Let's see. Yeah, it is. Let's see the carnage ahead means Basso has 2 riders. Ghosty managed to keep his 78. Frau Colombiano, you be down to 1 rider. 5.8 to go. It's gonna be a 9-man
And they
sprint,
keep on
and
attacking. Anyone that's low
Ghosty,
on gas definitely won't be able to
Basso,
keep
and
up.
Hush actually
We
have
are
a
just 5
launcher, so
kilometers left.
and some
Falling
great help
behind.
to
A few
stay
meters from
ahead.
behind.
Let's see, 3.8 to go. Basso well positioned, accelerating. We're gonna have a sprint soon. It's Ghosty on the left side, Colombiano coming up from the middle, Hushy in the right, and El Colombiano now. 3-man sprinting. Walter, don't miss the sprint. It's gonna be Kamna, no Basso, and it's gonna be
A great
Basso
win in the
with
sprint of the strongman.
Tupalik,
We're waiting for the
Hashi
back markers who
second,
appear to be fairly
Yubi
numerous
third,
in this difficult race.
Basso actually still takes the fourth, Frabo fifth, Tosti sixth, El Colombiano eighth. Wondering if everyone's gonna be in same time because I don't remember where. Oh yeah, Bevnal was sprinting earlier, yeah, so they're all there. All leaders managed to finish in the same group. Yubi third, but took qualification with his 82 mountain, so some seconds by Yubi. Indeed, because first and second are the helpers from 78 mountain guys from Basso and Hush. So Kamna actually, a leader takes, I mean, just doing 4 seconds, normal Boni, 4 second, and then Hershey, Buchman, and I'm sorry, yeah, Hershey, Buchman, Pinot, and Bernal finish on same time, but without those gaps, without sorry those seconds. So right now, 4 seconds advantage for UV's rider. Yeah, I mean, 4 seconds can be nothing. It can make a huge difference at the end. Let's see how this goes. Bit of shame Walter wasn't third, says Basso. That was actually close at one point. Looked like his leader was gonna make a podium. Oh, here we have the replay. It was definitely in the sprint. Tupalik breezes past Egan Bernal, and UB's leader still there with a strong finish in the final meters, still getting that third place. So stage one is done, and UB ended up being the only one that got some seconds at the end with his leader for the tour, the 82 mountain rider. So uh, he will have that small advantage going into stage two right now. But there's still some hard stages to come, so everything is still definitely out in the open, especially being only 4 seconds. And there we see all leaders at in same time. Tupalik goes on first, second, and Kamna, a leader from UV in this case, getting in third place. Stage two is going to be a flat one, 163.7 kilometers. Uh, there's two border sections, one at the beginning, one at the end, with the exception of 3-4 kilometers there, the final ones that are wind free, so to speak. Uh, we have one intermediate sprint for the evening in this stage, of course, and one third cap only. So theoretically, great chance for Ghosty to score that intermediate sprint with Ackerman and maybe even the stage win. Who knows? In theory, it would be looking good for the Ghost Man on that, but as we know, sometimes things don't always go as planned with sprinters, especially with sprinters. Sprints can always be very messy. As we are waiting for the vegetation to be generated on AMA's toaster, generazione, vegetazione, did I even vegetazi? No, I don't know. I have no idea how to say that. Generazione, yeah, that's probably right. The fuck if I know. We have the classifications here on your screen. All right, I'm being informed right now that it is sponsor time and you have a new sponsor for this stage specifically. And let me just
Is
quickly
it
check
the
this.
Bamgacha movement?
No, no, it's not. It's also not the Van Miko because it's a new one specifically for this stage. Uh, Attention all sports fans, as you gear up for stage 2 of the ITA Cup, we'd like to remind you that this year's stage is proudly sponsored by the one and only Alvizi and Alvizi Illegal Studio. Did you have a rough stage 1? Did the weather throw you off of your game? Or maybe the color of your jersey wasn't quite right? Fear not! With Alvizi and Alvizi on your side, you can overcome any obstacle and even appeal your way to victory. Their team of expert lawyers are here to provide you with top-notch legal advice and help you pass the rounds with ease, one way or the other. Don't settle for less, trust the best. Alvizi and Alvizi, the World Cup appeals experts. Catch them in action and see the difference for yourself. So if you need to appeal and make sure you actually win 90% of the times, uh, please consult the LVZ and LVZ firm. They are experts in legal matters relating PCM, especially PCM ITA matters, but World Championship as well. And you will be able to take everyone and their mom to court and get every single dime they have. Thank you. Meanwhile, how is Gachu doing, Svexon, by the way? Right?
Well, he got lucky on stage 1, and he's now complaining because old Goga's up to with 2 riders. Neither of which
Oh,
was leader, and Gachi was trying to compare him to a situation where he had his leader up the road.
of course he is. Did he actually win stage 1?
No, I did.
Nice.
Gachi was on the same time, but he wasn't really.
Usual PCM Mickey Mousery, I guess. So you can see the classifications in your screen for a bit more and more. As now intersections are being generated, lakes and seas, intersection, road, intersection. Okay, that's enough. Santa Poya La Manga del Mar Menor is stage 2. Cyclist textures. So, for those of you that joined purposefully to see the generation of cyclist textures and hardware instance,
Today's
guys, you
terrain
joined the
is
right stream. We can commentate and talk about this all night, or let's just not. Okay, we're loaded in. Stage is start. Il giocatore EMEA è pronto a giocare. Alright.
Look out! He's breaking away! The The current pace is a
Well,
bit too
the
docile for
problem
some
is really
riders
the
who
game,
are
to be
looking to
honest.
create a
This game,
breakaway.
even if you have a NASA computer and max graphics, it's gonna
There
shit
are reports
itself
of several riders in difficulty.
to load the game, not the computer, because this game can't handle its own processing. It's a very poor game at
He's going to
processing
take them
things,
on by himself.
which is funny because it's also a processing heavy game, but it's very bad at it, can't handle it. So, Hush already trying to do damage in the very first one section that's already
Was that
getting
from a
near
rider?
the end, so I don't think he's gonna make anything out of it. Because it's going to end right about now. Uh, got 23 seconds out of it. But he did manage to get riders on the break. Probably was there with Colbrelli as well. Curious to see if Ghosty isn't here. Check the back of the break. The Polik is here as well, our yellow jersey for the moment. Going to assume Ackerman is here. There's Yubi. Someone is moving from Peloton to E1, and it is a 78 Sprinter, I think it was. Several 78 Mountains here. Hush has his. Blasso as well. I think someone with Yubi, I believe it was. And right now, break has 115 and increasing. Well, right now, not really increasing that much. It's a bit steady at the 110 average. Also already playing some politics in the break. Go Hush, sacrifice one, we're all happy with you work with two. Well, he does have the extra man in the break, so it's I should have done the actual sponsor reading during this stage because it's so interesting. Going to be so many fun things to see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Really?
Several riders are
All right.
literally disintegrating due to
Is
the
there a
rage imposed
stage
by the
four
pack.
sponsor as well, or is it just it's first stage? Is there a, curious to see what will be the stage three sponsor. Meanwhile, let me quickly check the classifications of the other group. And where's tour? Here it is. Semifinal would be. Let's see, stage one. How did it go in Group B? Faxon already said that he won. Uh, Gogo was second. Alder was third. Uh, Simon Clark for Ben Young fourth. Gacho sixth because Ben Young also took fifth with his leader. Gacho was sixth. Uh, all of these five finished on the same time, their leaders. And Tim behind 33 seconds and 8 with Bushman. So, interesting start in Group B. And we'll get back to it once it's done. So, right now, back to our break. We have 18 men there. Gap increased quickly. It's 342. Joe Whiteley is now playing Pro Cycling Manager 2022. The stock. All right, 55, 55? You mean total, right? He put this popped out so I can actually see it there in real time. Oh, okay, for you on the finish, yeah. All right, yeah, because it's a green stage, correct. Makes perfect sense. So right now, Mel was noting the fact that Ghosty has the green jersey on the break, so we can win 15 points in an intermediate sprint and give him his green stage 40 at the finish. And again, as we talked earlier, um, Ghosty is actually the only person that brought GT5 Sprinter, which to be honest, I would have brought him as well. If you're looking at the parcours. Uh, and he can actually try and succeed with him uh, in the stage, which already has 4 minutes and 9 seconds gap. Uh, obviously, uh, someone that has an 85 sprinter versus a 78 has always theoretical advantage, but as we've seen, doesn't always guarantee you a win. But every weapon one can take to try and get a little bit of advantage in this game is always a good one to choose. So I would have taken the 85 sprinter here as well, to be honest. Let's see if we can make it work. Meanwhile, 4.5 minutes, over 4.5 minutes already, almost 5 in the breakaway. Got going quickly, and we're into the 5 minutes territory. Let's see if they don't give too much time, because there's some 78 mountain riders there. Well, I don't think it will make a difference for with what is to come, obviously. But let's see if they at least keep it stable around about 5-6 minutes, which is more than enough time to later recover in the mountain. We are 33 kilometers away from the first and only intermediate sprint of the stage. Uh,
Oh, nice break win in your group.
yeah, it is, isn't it?
I mean, we're not having a break win because the only guy who actually tried to go to the break was Gogo, and he's basically now being caught at the IS.
Hmm. Is anyone with the 83 flat guy in your group, Swags?
I only saw Ben Young with the only 83 flat. Alder's the only one with the 85 sprint, by the
A
way.
courageous rider is looking to break
Who
away.
was the only one with the
Falling
85 sprinter?
behind. A team leader is falling
Alder.
behind.
Alter. Oh,
I think Goga's the only one who bought the 74 flat rider. Yeah, the time trialist. I think everyone else.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Swags, we have again Frabo and El Colombiano doing exactly the same thing they did in the last stage, attacking on the flat, this time on the flat with their leaders. But this seems to be a very quick response from everyone. Hush with his rider goes with his tree, and UB is there as well. So everyone seems to be closing them quickly. They still have 18 seconds. El Colombiano has the 80 flat there, and others do not have flat riders behind. So let's. I was gonna say let's see how that pans out, but it was immediately
There's an attack
closed
in the leading group.
while I
Some
was
riders were not
looking
giving it
at
their all and
the
sharing the pace.
uh, director indications.
There's a rider trying to break away from the bunch.
And
I
meanwhile,
shot myself.
Hush actually made a move trying to take advantage of the mess behind. And again, I see. Is that Frabo with just Frabo? Yes. Frabo yet again trying with his leader. So now the stage is getting interesting. Everyone is doing their moves. Ghosty and Basso trying to quickly catch him. We have Hashi there as well. But Frappo's going like a madman, although he's only getting less than 30 seconds so far. But he's keeping the gap stable right now, going to 30 seconds now. And meanwhile, the break already has 6 minutes
We're halfway to the
advantage
finish
to the
line. The
peloton.
team leaders should be coming
But
more and more to
things
the
are
fore.
getting interesting.
Acceleration by
Bravo
Pollitt.
definitely trying to make his move stick, but Ghosty directly attacks instead of continuing just to place him back. And Frabo does the same and increases his own pace to try and stay ahead. How long can he keep this going? Let's see. It's actually becoming quite interesting, this battle. 25 seconds. Let's keep in mind that he still has a little bit over 30 kilometers until the actual windy section, so this is gonna be a tough gap to keep. Meanwhile, the break is now stable. People have already all bunched up again there, 18 riders. And the sprint is about to happen in 6 kilometers, give or take. Hush with his four-man train
There's
is
a breakaway
already
in the
going
leading
at it
group.
really quickly. He attacks. Basso follows. They got a 14-second gap, and Hush continues to put pace. The others quickly arrive. And now it's Basso who's in the lead. He's going to launch the sprint. There's Ghosty on the right side, Hush on the middle, UB on the left, El Colombiano a little
Attack
bit
by
more
Nils
behind as well
Pollitt.
as Fravo's guys. And Basso is the first one to strike. He launches, and his sprinter is about to go right. But
Another attack in
now
the leading
UB on
group.
the left, and Basso seems to have it controlled. And it's for Rajovic, I believe. Yeah, let's check it, man. Yeah, Ackerman second, and Rajovic actually takes that win. So interesting. Ghosty not getting the most successful sprint. But he still manages to get second place point. So now all he needs to do is actually make sure that he produces a better sprint at the end of the stage. And Peloton is right now about to cross the line of the intermediate sprint as well. And is that still? Yeah, that's still Fravo ahead. 30 seconds. Valiant effort, and
Their front
he
group is
already has
disorganized,
one
and
rider
some
behind
riders are
that
exploiting
he
this opportunity to attack.
got back from the break, I assume. And there's still 13 kilometers until the actual climb of the day, the categorized one, although there's a Kelly section right before that we're about to get in now. But El Colombiano also trying to bridge by simply attacking towards him. And Hashi right now has Pino isolated because Campusan is actually having a hard time keeping up, probably dead or about to die. I didn't even notice. But if he's not dead, he's pretty much close to it at this point. When Frabo going to be closed by sheer attack. Spino, yes, he is indeed alone, and luckily for him, this is a flat stage. But he still needs to keep in mind that he's gonna go through the border section, and without help, with a 66, I think it is, flat leader, which is the case for the 82 mountain rider, this can be problematic for him, especially if people decide to attack that section, as I expect some will. Bravo with closed though, and we end that
We're
little
into the last
climb
third of the race. We'll
uh,
soon know the
before
final
the other
outcome.
little climb, or even smaller climb, which is the third cat. That one will give 2 and 1 points respectively. Before the downhill comes, break reduced to
Acceleration by
16 men.
Nairo Quintana.
Now the Nairo Quintana attacks from the peloton. I believe that's El Colombiano going at it. Yeah, it is, and let's see who joins him. E2. E2, it's El Colombiano and Frabo yet again. Bravo
Our
trying
rider is looking
something
to
that he
give the pack
should have
this
probably
one.
tried for the first time at give or take this part of the stage, because he was trying way, way before the actual win section. That ended up hurting his attempts. And Meanwhile, El Colombiano moving for those KOM points, or trying to, but it's gonna be for someone that is not Tupalik. Tupalik was second, but still both Bustle's riders. In the meantime, what's going on in the back? I see such a mess right now. This is Walter and Wolfman. Yeah, Bravo and Colombiano, I guess. Well, it's yeah, Bravo, Colombiano, and UB actually again going for it. A lot of things happening at the same time. The breakaway should have the stage, however. And as the win section is about to start, let's see if anyone tries to make any moves both here and in the back groups. Right now, Fravo's attempt alongside El Colombiano and UBI has a 44 seconds gap. Let's see if they can keep it at the crosswind section. Meanwhile, 3 minutes and 25 seconds from E1 to the group behind, the one with Frabo, as I said, which has a 47-second advantage to the other favorites group, in which we see Ghosty, Basto, and pretty much that's it. Frabo has some riders there, but I don't think it's his leader. Can you check, man? No, it's Viviani and Pedersen, yeah. So, yeah, Hershey is right there. 55 seconds now that Frabo's group has over Hush and Ghosty. This might be a big blow for both Hush, that already sent someone to help Pino as he had to, obviously. This might be a big a big blow for Hush and Ghosty if they prove incapable of closing this gap, because if they do not do it quickly, they might actually end up losing quite a significant amount of time that they would definitely need to close in the mountains. And to keep the gap open at this point and she tries to attack to actually close it would mean that the tendency to increase in the last 30 kilometers of this windy section would be extremely high, as we know. And right now, everything is happening. The groups are breaking apart in everywhere. Yubi now bringing people to help
Aha! His
his
marker
leader.
spells the slip.
Basso and Ghosty and Hush with their leaders still behind. Uh, Still behind Fravo, El Colombiano, and sorry, Ghosty attacks with Ackerman and another rider to try and catch the guys in the front group, which is Basso, Yubi, and I think that's one of Fravo's riders.
With less than 20
Yeah,
kilometers, the
Basso and
lead is
Ghosty going
still
for
over
stage.
a
Yeah.
minute. It's going to be hard work to make.
Let's
There's an
see
attack
the
in the group at the front.
actual front group. There we go. It's Tupalik, followed behind by Kamnan. I didn't see the others. Are trying to get back in. Yeah, it's a bit hard. There's riders everywhere right now. It's a bit hard to pinpoint where everyone specifically is. Kamna is UB's leader. Am I correct? Or is it? Yeah,
UV, El
yeah.
Colombiano, and
Fravo and
Bravo's
El
leader.
Colombiano have their leaders here. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Ghosty, Bosfo, and Hushy that have theirs behind. So um, it's a significant advantage
There
by
are
this
just
point.
15 kilometers left.
Can we get a time gap on maybe Valter to.
Yeah, if you could put Walter to Pinot or
No,
Bootman.
Hershey, because they're in the front group. So.
Yeah, it's Pinot.
Or like Bernal, maybe. So we can see the time gap between the. Because obviously there's three GC leaders in this group, and there's three GC
Yeah,
leaders.
it's a freaking mess right now.
I
But
mean,
this is a great move for them.
The
and you're
stage
gonna
win's
get a
not
time cap.
guaranteed either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if it's a headwind finish for the next 10k, I reckon Shubi or whoever's in this peloton is going to take the stage.
10
Well,
kilometers
there's
per
three,
minute.
4 kilometers there, as you can see,
Look at
that
the gap,
are. Yeah, the gap is huge right now,
minute and a half.
becoming a big, big problem for the guys behind, which is Basto, Hush, and Ghosty, with their leaders, that is.
And it's the people who wanted to go for the stage win who are now behind with their GC leaders, and also they're not even going to take the GC at the lead.
You think? I would say that doesn't
Sorry, the
surprise
stage
you,
win,
right?
the stage win. Yeah. The people who full focus on the GC leaders have actually now
In a good
become
position, yeah.
guys who are going to be in a position to win the stage.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Would you say that
We're into the last
Ghosty
5
has a shot
kilometers.
here, or that UB, or
To be
even
honest,
Bravo?
I don't really know what specific riders are in this group.
Oh,
But
Ghosty is the only one with the 85 Sprinter, and then there must be.
yeah, I guess it
Uh,
all depends on his yellow bar because he's been alone, hasn't he, for a while.
yeah, I think there might be some 78s somewhere here. Not sure. Be sure.
Usually,
But yeah, he's been alone, and it's been. Oh, and he's actually going for it at 1-2 to go, and he seems to have it in the bag of the stage. Because before Ghosty at second, it's going to
He
be
snatched victory in that
Tupali
fast sprint finish. He can
and
thank his teammates
UB
for
Tours.
letting
Yeah,
him out
so
in
Pasto
perfect
UB.
conditions.
Fourth
see what
The
is
Tyler
riders at the
reckons.
78th
end of the river
sprinter
have made it
Molano
through
for
sheer
Colombiano.
willpower.
Frabo
This
fifth,
stage
and
was a real strength sapper.
goes sorry UB
GC
sixth.
guys, or the remaining GC guys.
Oh, that's quite
About
the
a
gap for.
minute and a half, is it?
Yeah, I think it is. We'll see better after the stage results, but it's around that margin. Yeah, you think this might be more than
No,
enough for them to manage,
no,
or everything can still happen in those moments?
because I mean, no disrespect, but I feel like two of the three weakest players in the mountains have gained
Yeah,
time.
but for Frabo, this advantage might prove
Yeah, yeah.
very interesting,
I
especially
feel like
if you.
and Basso, it's not really a problem.
That's true. Both of them very good climbers. Uh, as Joe pointed out, and very well, those that were focusing on the stage win, breakaway, etc., actually pretty much got caught with their pants down, and those focusing on their GC leaders, which was the case for UBL Colombiano and Frabo, managing to get a good solid minute and something gap, I believe. Let's check. I think it was a minute and a half, give or take.
Yeah, I believe so. Minute and
140.
40, yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty interesting cushion to work with for them. Ghostia leading by 2 points against Tupalik and Green. Igita has 9 points leading the KOM, so KOM very open. And now this stage in Andorra will actually be the one that has a lot of points for the KOM jersey. Aren't you playing Group B, Joe, by the way?
I was meant to be playing in this group.
Oh, in this one.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. But I was gonna ask. I thought I had seen you in the list of one of the groups. So, who replaced you here?
I'm not sure actually.
Let me check.
I didn't really pay attention to the.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
actually
don't know if
quickly
it was
check.
Bravo. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
they.
you were here. It was Frabo, yeah, because Frabo was like the second, I think. Oh, we have a yeah. Bringing them. We're quickly. Sorry, gonna check the sponsor for stage 3. Let me see. Hey there, sports enthusiasts! As we gear up for Stage 3 of the ITA Cup, we're excited to announce that this stage is brought to you by none other than Dennis Magnet's company. Are you afraid of going head to head with your toughest competitors? Worried about losing your 0.0001 of yellow bar? Or perhaps you just want to save your energy for that final sprint, those final 500 meters in real life, like Roglic? Look no further. With tennis magnets, you can ride smart and not hard. Their powerful magnets will ensure that your leader only sees your opponent's backside throughout the stage. And for those of you concerned about missing out on the breakaway, fear not. Tennis Magnets has also introduced new magnets for your domestiques, allowing them to join the breakaway without giving your opponents one single inch. And now we're excited to announce that Dennis Magnets has started shipping to Russia since last month. I would pretend I'm shocked, but I'm not. Grab yours today and see the difference for yourself. Dennis Magnets. Smart ride? Don't ride. Ride like a fucking magnet. That was our sponsor for this stage.
Is that some chat GPT or whatever it's called?
Chat GPT, I think it is. Bad, but it's actually
Very,
quite
very accurate. Scarily
very
accurate.
accurate. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
it's
say
actually
so.
quite scary. Yeah.
I mean, both you, me, and the mayor, Swax, and I think everyone here in this PC. Yeah, there's just the four of us. All of us actually played with the now called the old timers, quote unquote, like Dennis, Calipari, and others. And yeah, that's pretty accurate.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can
He
create some
was
gaps.
an expert at, like Emil said, not riding. Smart ride, don't ride. I think that sentence encompasses everything. So, Basso again with two Palik, his puncher in E1, and going for the first climb of the day, which I believe to be a first cat, because there's the stream on my side is a little bit fuzzed. Not the Twitch one, the live one.
I think Basso wins the green jersey of Tupac pretty comfortably,
Yeah, he seems to be doing very well at it.
which will let him have a little bit of an excuse in the narrative.
True.
I mean, it's a genuine thing. If you're going to win the green jersey, you're going to have
The
match
green?
points.
Higuita goes
Yeah.
onto the attack.
Oh, yeah, the green, because I don't think there's any more points for the sprinters now, because it's this one. Yeah, the other one is also mountain, but with the
It's survival
downhill
of the
finish. Yeah, I
fittest,
think you're
and
right.
evolution doesn't seem to favor those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders
I'm
left behind.
quite actually interested to see what's gonna happen with the
This
KOM
downhill
one,
will allow
because
the riders
it
to
actually
recover from their
starts now,
earlier
so to
efforts.
speak. Alcomiano with Higuita already in there as well, trying to get some points. Like I said earlier in the stage, this might be a very good uh, jersey for the punchers. Although I'm guessing I haven't seen everyone there, but there's 78 mountains in there. Joe, I was talking a bit earlier how I'm not really a big fan of the 78 mountain and this DB. What is your opinion about him? It.
I think he has his flaws. I think players have to be very, very careful. I think he could. I don't really know. You can't really change him too much because then
Yeah,
that
that's.
might make him a little bit too OP. And
I think that's the issue with most DBs in this game is that it's really hard to find a. I wouldn't call
sweet
perfect
spot.
because nothing is perfect, but the most possibly perfect balance.
Yeah, I agree.
Call Dordino and Trouble with Viviani and probably a 78 guy. We have Igita here, who's actually already leading, but only with 9 points total. The KOM jersey, that is. And Bravo actually moving to the front. It's 76 Mountain Rider, actually. Interesting choice. Not a bad one, I would say. But let's see. El Colombiano. Uh, is that
The riders are going through
ahead
a
of
very tough
Ghosty? Is
portion with
that
percentages above 10%.
Bravo, of course? Bravo again trying to make a move despite being already in the virtual lead because there's also, I believe, well, if I remember correctly, it was Yubi and Colombiano that also uh, were with him in that leaders gap in the last stage, 140 something, 42, I think it was. Joe, would you be playing like this so aggressively at this point with a 142 lead, give or take?
Um, I mean, I don't think it necessarily matters because it's stage 3. So I think
But
for some players here, if they take a couple of the jerseys and then get a decent position at PCM using the advantage they already have, they can get on with the next round.
but do you think that Emma, if you could actually quickly check the stage profile for the steepness of the climbs? Let me see. I was gonna ask, do you think this might come back to hurt him on those, for example, those last two climbs, if he doesn't manage his bars well and ends up being reeled in with his leader?
Yeah, maybe so it does, yeah. But I feel like this stage isn't crazy long, so it's not going to have the same impact as what, like, a 200k stage might have had before.
Indeed, it's a short one, and it was the inline uh, World Cup final for 2016. First year in which YTT were removed from road and done in a separate competition. Tells the I
Falling
can
behind.
see in
I see
the
leaders
history
falling
books
behind.
called EMEA.
Hmm.
Okay, so Colbrelli actually going ahead, Travel Sponsor trying to get them ranking points, as Ronnie O'Sullivan would say, because we're about to get the first cat of the day, and second climb of the day, well, this day. Actually, the day, yeah, because there wasn't any so far, except that first one on this day. Meanwhile, UB, Wuhan, these are all the people trying to catch Frabo. So I think Frabo was the only one. Yeah, he is the only one with. No, Bossa is there as well. Interesting. And he has four riders. So everyone's trying to catch up 3-1, where we already have. I thought it was just Frabo. No, we have Walter there as well from Basso. So Basso and Frabo both have 53 seconds advantage for all the other leaders. Keeping in mind that Frabo doesn't really need to do much here, or anything at all, because he already has a 142 gap. Basso does not, so he definitely needs to put work on this break. Go see there at the back of the peloton. It's a long downhill. Let's see if they what they will do with this step. Should be stable on this downhill if played properly, of course. Bravo passed in the front just for a few seconds, and he's actually now helping Muscles go over Ellie. Gap is stable, give or take around the minute mark. So they got something like 10 minutes or so. With the downhill, they had like 53, I believe it was, at the end of the, so 15 seconds at the end of the climb. And, wait, Hush actually got dropped. I don't know. I only didn't even see how that happened. So again, Hush, uh, with another predicament to fall. I mean, yes, he will get back in. Let's just see if he can, save as much energy as possible doing it. And sprint, I didn't even see how the sprint go. Can you check?
The riders are in a portion
It
above
was
10%.
Tupali, Colrell. No, that was quick. Okay, Tupali, Colrell, and Hurt. Okay, so Basso yet again takes some more points. And as Phil talked about at the beginning of the stage, and given the parcours, that was not a hard prediction to do, but a very accurate prediction from Joe that Tupalik should comfortably win the green jersey. Still, Ghosty at least got the stage win with the sprinter, so it was ended up paying off, bringing him. I might still get maybe third. I don't remember the gap. Second, third in the green jersey. Both are down to two men as Tupalik is done for the day. Uh, Worked quite a bit on this group and also managed to get the intermediate sprint, which was obviously one of the goals for him. Which means he is now leading the green jersey. Bravo down to two. El Colombiano with, I don't know if that was a four-man trade. Looked like it. Yeah. Oh, and he's actually already putting the pace ahead. He wants to try and close that gap for Frabo and Basso, and he's going to do it by pacing immediately in
Watch out, a
Col
team
de
leader
la
is falling
Rabassa.
behind.
Rabassa, yeah. And that's gonna be terrible news for Hirsch that had just about managed to get back into the peloton and no time to rest, no rest for the wicked, as the saying goes. Indeed, Joe Likely, indeed. I'm gonna quickly check how this KOM goes and be absent for 30 seconds. I'm going to assume that Basso has
Let's get
bigger
the race started.
concerns than the
There should be
actual
a lot more
points.
movement from now on in.
And
I
Bravo
think he
is,
might take them though with his leader if he's there already. He may as
I
well.
mean, 3.4 kilometers 30 seconds. Yeah, they definitely have the gap
Obviously, if
to
there's a
take.
full group then people are pacing hard, then there's no point. But in a five-man group where he's got three of the riders, I can't see him being
Yeah,
much of
but
a problem.
Bravo putting up the pace immediately as if he heard a start.
It's because Forever also wants the KOM points, I guess. He wants that excuse. Like everyone does, really.
Yeah, and it might not be a good idea given that he's risking a lot. He might at least take the points if he can. And the El Colombiano is about to join them. I think UB was. Uh, yeah, UB is with him indeed. Uh, who even got the KOM?
The riders will take full advantage
I
of the
think it
incline to
was.
get some oxygen
Not
into
sure
their
if it was
lungs, but they
Pedersen
must
or yeah, it
remember to
was
keep
Pedersen
their
then
shape.
Rishi. All right. Okay, I'll be right back.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
Alright, as I return, the next time begins. Fabo still in the front. Yubi, I see, trying to join. Basso no longer in the front, so I'm assuming that they were close with Bravo and Sister.
This is the last third of the race. The team leaders have their minds fixed on today's goal.
Can you hear me now, Emma? Alright, yeah, I said I was leaving for 30 seconds. I'm back already. Meanwhile, um, Bravo lost. Oh, that's a 1, a 3. Good. Let
So
me see
it's
the
noses
actual match
downhill,
scores.
which will allow the riders to catch their breath.
It's
This climb is
yeah,
feared by many
it's
riders. The
Frabo going
percentages are
along with
very
Hershey,
high.
and I think it's Basso that probably still there with his leader behind him. It is Kapna, and quite the gap for the other contestants. I mean, be around 3 minutes, give or take. The additional 14 seconds add, and the 37. Yeah, so we're 3 minutes right now, give or take. Hershey still with 3 riders. Everyone else with 2, and of course Fravo and UV are down to their leaders uh, when we are doing the HC of the day. So yeah, Tuvali, in this case Kamna and Hershey, along with Bernal were with a gap, but now 2 of these are actually going for it, which are Hershey and Kamna, UV and Ilgandissimo Fravo. And Hershey yet again taking them ranking points, so establishing a pretty good lead in the KOM, I would assume, right now. Although there is still one more stage to go, this one is the one with the big points. And Walter gets third. Now, uh, these are down to 2 riders here. There's Hush, Uncle Piano,
We're into the
Basso.
downhill
Who's
section.
behind?
The
Oh,
riders can
Kosti.
take
I
a
don't
breather, but
see. Is
they can't
Kosti
let their
there?
guard drop.
'How the fuck is Buchmann? Wait, I guess he's in A1. The image isn't as clear as I would like in Discord, but I think Kosti is. Yeah, he's here. Alright. 3 minutes. I don't know if Joe's still here. Probably muted already.
Well,
I was wondering, 3 minutes right now, 2 leaders versus a group of 6, in which at least 2 or 3 of them are helpers. Do you think these 3 minutes might be enough as we go into the final 2 climbs of the day?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't really been paying too much attention to what's been happening, but with that advantage on this type of stage, I think they should be okay.
Yeah, actually, only 2 helpers because both Kosti and Hirsch are down to 1 man only. Kosti now getting Brenner, but didn't last that long. and also trying to get the second with Walter. Not sure if he was on time. No, of course you're actually best ahead of him.
The riders are going
Yeah,
through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Oh my word! This is Gatcha's fade is like an absolute pillock he has.
I mean, what else is new?
And
It's
I'm
like you. It's like you
actually
come
no,
here to say, "Hey, Sean, the weather is bad."
oh no,
What did you do
everyone's
this
faded
time?
like a pillock. To be fair, and I'm about to win by about 40 or 45 seconds, I think.
Really? Meanwhile, second to last climb of the day begins. Hershey and Kamna still on their solo effort, still with 3 minutes give or take of advantage. It's been quite the impressive ride by Fravo and later joined by Yubi as
Wait,
well.
how the fuck is as everyone as the rest other five finishing the same time as each other?
I would like
We
to inform to you, sorry to interrupt, Swags. I'd like to inform to you that right now the cash flow on these streams is going extremely wild. In a good way. We have been assigned yet another extra sponsor for stage four. I would like to say that being in the cabinet on the IMA apparently pays off. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of corruption and money coming in, so don't miss on that. Sorry, so you were saying?
literally five people. Somehow everyone else has finished on the same time as each other.
15 kilometers to the finish
How
line.
How stupid are
it's it's a bit disappointing to say the least.
I was literally the only one that did that. To be honest, I just attacked and just went 59 or something. It's literally so easy that was. Ridiculous.
30 minutes, 12 kilometers to go. They definitely seem locked for the stage win. Let's see how much they will gain, and this
And now we're into the
might
final
actually
climb.
mean,
The riders know
and
there are
will
three
likely
ladies
mean,
at the top.
to be honest, that the fight for this semifinals group GC will be between, for the GC, that is, as I said, between Bravo and Yui. And we'll see if Blasto tries to get rid of the remaining competitors to try and get ahead. Yes, he has a green jersey, but he needs to improve his GC and at least secure that first place to see if guarantee that he goes through. And Hush is the only one alone at this one with his leader without any helpers. So not the most ideal situation for him. Let's see if he manages all of it. Oh, who's that? I'm gonna say
It's in such
Yubi.
percentages that the strongest can create some
Ah, no,
gaps.
actually Hershey. Yeah, that
Falling
actually makes
behind. A
sense.
team
I
leader is
wouldn't see
falling
that, but yeah,
behind.
probably come attack and quite possible that you definitely that's probably definitely spent more effort, several attacks that he did to actually get that gap with Hershey, the KOM points. He was solo with Bosco for a while, and then joined by Yubi later on when he attacked the gap. So let's see if Yubi takes this opportunity to get a good gap on Frabo, maybe get the stage. 6.8 to go. Now, Hush leading the chasing group of the remaining leaders. I'm already 28 seconds ahead of Hershey.
There are just 5 kilometers
And
left.
Marinol follows Pinoso Hush, making a move, trying at a gap, manages it. El Colombiano, quick to respond, is on his wheel, and everyone else is behind it right now. Uh, gap is very stable between Frabo and Yubi. Yubi continues to have, give or take, around 30 seconds. Let's see if he starts to increase something now. And 26 seconds, but Bravo there doing graphics magic from this wonderful game was pretty much melted with his rider in the Skoda car, and Bravo desperately trying to catch up Yubi, but if Yubi managed well, uh, it might be all she wrote for the Italian. 22 seconds and 1.4 to go. Yeah, unless he really breaks down now, he should have the win in the bag. 1.1 to go, but Frabo is catching up. Frabo's catching up quickly. 14 seconds. There's still that gap, and it will seems to be enough unless Yubi dies right now, of course. That would be a terrible blow for the
Yeah, I
German.
think if Frabo could go faster, he would have done by now. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and he's actually done. And Kabner still has the energy to
And
take the
it's a
stage, a
superb
well-deserved
sprint
win.
win for Kemna.
The riders
Frabo is
bringing up the
only
rear have
30
made it through
seconds behind,
sheer
maybe a bit
willpower.
less.
This stage
Uh,
was a real
and the
straight
other
zapper.
leaders will be coming at the minute and 10 mark, give or take, to
so
Yubi.
Hubie and Frabo actually now have around 2.5 minutes lead with their GC guys.
Indeed. Well, 30 seconds more to Yubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
Yubi is
Frabo
as
has
The
the
like
riders
leader.
are
2
in a
minutes
portion above
and
10%.
Hubie has 2.5 minutes.
Indeed, indeed. So things looking very good for these two, I have to say. And Bravo taking the at least until now the KOM jersey. Bravo seems to be in a good position. Yubi, if he can keep this lead on the next stage, also is in a very good position with this first place in the GC because I don't think he has anything in terms of stages, if I recall correctly, except this one now.
Who's that?
When was Yubi?
He has a third place, I believe, on stage 2
Uh-huh.
with
So with this win,
Geshka.
yeah, Yubi's actually looking very good here for the group win. We'll see if he can, oh, because it's only 30 seconds, probably give or take, let's keep that in mind. Uh, Not everything is yet decided. Here comes action, still within the time limit. So now let's see. It's actually 19 seconds, of course, PCM, and 1 minute for the others. So at 26 seconds for Hershey, 127 for Bernal. I forgot he was there as well, and 3 minutes for Pinot, Bushman, Balter. Yeah, so that's actually impressive.
I forgot
Foster.
the bonus seconds well. Hubie gets, so yeah, it'll be around 3 minutes advantage he has over Basso and
So
all the others.
between Hershey and Walters, and even Commerce, all still very open for the KOM.
And if they're not going to retrieve their situation in the GC, the KOM is going to be very important, and the points jersey as well.
Indeed. And in terms of points jersey, given that I doubt Ackerman is going to score on that sprint, albeit not impossible, but I think the opposition will try to prevent that. That intermediate sprint might actually be all she wrote in terms of final opportunities to try and at least still a second place to go see as
Yeah.
Basso seems to have a good grip on that green. All right, as we move to stage four, we'd like to bring attention to our final sponsor of the day. We've had the band Micro Movement. We've had on stage three the Dennis Magnets, and of course on stage two the Alvizi and Alvizi law firm, appealing since God knows when. Specialty of them is World Championships and PCM ITA, of course. Stage one was the band Micro Movement, and now for stage four. Uh, we want to welcome you into this stage, proudly brought to you by UB Harding and Company, the ultimate solution for all your ITT needs. I would say TT as well. Are you struggling with individual time trials? Don't worry. With UB Harding and Company, you can immerse yourself in a week-long session of expert-level tryharding. Our team of seasoned tryharders, including Ghosty, Molman, and Molman, will provide you with top-tier consultancy services, ensuring that no ITT or TTT secrets are left unexplored. By choosing UB Tryharding and Company, you'll be able to recite the tactics in your sleep, mastering them effortlessly. So if you're serious about winning, choose UB Tryharding and Company because at the end of the day, tryharding matters. Let's save tryharding lives. Tryharding lives matter. As we move into the final stage of the day for the A in the semifinal, Maribel La Roche-sur-Foron, and it's 166.7 Ks of action with uh, 5 categorized climbs. That would be 2 first cats, 2 second cats, and actually 3 first cats. 2 second cats, and right at the beginning of the stage, before the proper climbing, so to speak, an intermediate sprint. Oh, shut the fuck up, phone. Jesus. What, what am I, related to you or something? God, fuck you. Alright. As we wait for the vegetation, the intersections, and more intersections. Alright, as it slows, I'll take 20 more seconds because apparently my dog needs to go out, and I'll take her there. Back.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Today, it will be the climbers who have any chance of victory. The weather conditions are excellent. He broke from the pack like a greyhound. Watch out! There are a few riders in trouble at the back. the team leaders, only a true climber can expect to get something out of today's ride. The race will take place in beautiful weather conditions. Watch out! A team leader is falling behind! An attack!
Alright, apologies. That was a big absence, but I had to do some things. And I see the stage has began not that long ago, 2 kilometers give or take. I already see 17 guys in the break. I don't think there's any leaders, or no, not that I see. Ackerman trying to go for that intermediate sprint. So top 10 guys in yellow, as you can see. And let's see if Ackerman can reach that intermediate sprint and take it. Should be doable as the climbing per se starts afterwards. So 78 sprinter of UV here as
He's
well.
off on his own. The team sponsor won't be
Viviani
disappointed.
and Ghosty actually makes a move for it.
Attacked by Niels Pollitt.
With Ackerman and Pollock. Interesting. Also trying to
There's
follow.
a rider trying to break away from the bunch.
Let's see if he didn't go a little bit too soon. Because there's still 7 kilometers to go. That's a 20-second gap. And 5.5 to go. A little bit of uphill, false flat in there. Well, now at 5%, which is exactly the reason why he attacked, to try and make sure no one dropped him and can actually try and take this gap to secure the sprint. Let's see. It's Basso chasing with Tupalik. Try and not lose the lead. And 6-man train. I believe it was. 2, 3, or maybe 4 or 5, but still I hadn't said that today. And Ackerman will take it. Tupalik scores, Pollock scores second and Tupalik third. So I don't remember which was the gap. These were 15 points.
Falling behind.
First climb of the day begins. 18.6 kilometers at give or take 2 kilometers of altitude, 6.1% average. Wait, did Frappo actually leave? You said he had to go? Oh, he's still in. Us uh, sending 4 men ahead former group is no more, and a new break tries to go with. El Colombiano actually goes uh, with I think everyone he's got, and I think I don't know who Frabo has there. Not the leader though. It's called Rally 78 Sprinter, and I don't know who the other one is. Probably a 78 then. So Hush, El Colombiano, and Frabo are in the break. That's a 1 minute gap. And you'll be sending someone as well. Let's see, this is a mixed climb, so to speak. There's a bit of orange, then some yellow, and some lighter parts. But it ends in an orange section, so we'll see if someone tries any more moves. But right now, El Colombiano going with his leader, and he already has over a minute. And he was only around a minute down, no, 1.5 minutes, give or take, from Yubi. So he's definitely trying to get himself into contention and probably to secure or try to take the KOM, sorry, jersey out of Jersey, out of Hershey, which is Frabo's leader, and then I believe it was Yubi's leader, Kamna, that was in second, or Basso's, not sure. I think it was Kamna, yeah. So right now, El Colmiano, 4 guys, uh, Bravo with 2, and I think it's Hush with 4. Yeah, that's the breakaway. 140, 7K to go on the first climb. Parmelia de Roseleno. And let's see. UB putting the pace ahead, as he is the yellow jersey. And it's a quite interesting lead. Hush here is already 3 minutes down. Fourth place needs to make
The
something
pace is so
happen,
high that a few
because I
riders are
do
going to be
not
very
believe he
slow
has
at the end of the
stage
day.
wins and not particularly any good position in the secondary jerseys. So this is definitely something that uh, he wants to not only close but maybe actually try a move on his own later on. And El Colombiano's move is closed by UV, Hush with him, but Boss already following to try and not let a gap happen. And there's still some steep climbing to do, as you saw in that profile. Now everyone's gonna take advantage to try and close it. And everyone's back together. But that's Hush still going. Still trying to go with those 2 riders, but they are gonna get closed as well. So he will retain 4 riders. And Yubi immediately puts on the pace, trying to get that KOM, in which Alan, I believe, is second. Third, actually. I don't remember who second is. But there we go. Kamna is going to take, unless Tupalik there decides to spoil the party, but no, Yubi does the 1-2. And not sure who passed ahead, if Quintana or Walter. That was close, actually. Emma, can you check the KOM? That was
As they
Kamna,
go over the
Zierhoff,
top, the riders
Walter,
breathe a
actually, then
sigh of relief
Quintana, and
and hope
Bernal.
to
So
recover a bit on the
Kamna
way
gets
down.
10 points. El Comiano saying, "You be much block." I don't know if that was I didn't even notice, but probably one of those narrow roads, mountain climb things. And speak of the devil, let's see. Hashi is actually going to try that flat bit, use that flat bit to establish a gap, but Yui is not going to allow it. He joins him, tries to join him, is there, and they get a 40-second gap to work with on the downhill. So, and of course, Fravo quickly starts to close because the yellow jersey isn't there. So he is the second of GC, and El Colombiano is the third, but he's in the peloton. Uh, would be interesting to see if they can keep this gap. What would they do in the next climb? Oh. Attila Valter punctures. Attila Valter punctures. That's Boston. Sorry, leader. There's a puncture right now. Where is Valter? A1, A2. I mean, that's what you're looking for, I believe. Yep. Yeah, it's a launched race, right? It's a launched race.
Because of Pino, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hamna as well is in the break. So two leaders that were already established in the break. So as unfortunate as it can be, I think Bus already caught up. Yeah,
I mean, that's
but
just a testament of how bad this game can be.
yeah. Uh, Still, that's for the better. Uh, and bigger issues that would probably damage this quite a
This
lot
climb is
were
feared by
avoided
many riders. The
for
percentages are
the
very high.
cycling manager Eastern European member. So that's 1 minute and a half. Uh, as we begin a 14.5 kilometer climb at 6.4% average and 1.6 kilometers of altitude. Curious to see if they can take this all the way. At least going to definitely give a shot at it. Hush definitely needs to make something happen. His issue might be uh, UB being in there, so people will definitely work harder because the eligibility is also there. And to some people, that's the worst thing that could happen. Especially Basto, because Basto definitely needs to make something happen right now. And
Yeah.
let's see if he can do that. I mean, he has the green jersey, second or third, I believe it was in the.
I can't, I think, indicate well.
So, uh, he really
He
did
is
work
he is
hard.
third because obviously Frabo and Chibi are going to be first and second because they're first and second.
No, no, no. El Colombiano is third in GC.
No, I mean like he's third in the
Ah,
provisional standings. Um,
wait. Oh, there was provisional settings there. I didn't see because I was AFK
yeah,
at that time.
yeah.
Oh,
Colombiano is third in GC, I believe, but
oh
obviously he
yeah.
doesn't like Hush as well and Ghosty.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't really have many secondary classifications. So
Ah, yes, that's what I'm checking now. So yeah, El Colombiano actually needs to improve. Uh, Maybe get a stage win. I don't know how he is. No, actually, I think.
he's quite a
Yeah,
fan.
Colombia.
He's like
Colombiano
it's
got to be careful there. Attacks work on this stage. Attacks really do work on this stage.
yeah,
Yeah, he definitely needs to make something happen.
he's
Me,
like
Ben Young, and Aldo got caught out, and basically Ben Young and Aldo eliminated.
yeah.
If they have to in trouble.
So quickly, let me just update the provisional standings. UB leading 215 points, Frabo second 159, Boston third 125, El Colombiano fourth 90 points, so it's not a big gap, and Ghosty fifth 87, and Hirsch sixth with 80 points. So there's still everyone's still in the fight for at least third place. Uh, let's see.
Would be interesting. Yeah.
Right now, Hush actually has an interesting lead, 151. So, and Basso definitely trying to break that group. Just trying to follow along. El Colombiano will leave the gap here. He's trying to close it now. Everything is falling apart. The race is exploding. And I don't know if Ghosty is. Yeah, Ghosty seems to be there, but on the limits. Not Ghosty, it's. Who am I forgetting here? Ah, Fravo. Yes, there it is. Which is bad news for the break because at this pace, they're definitely closing them quicker. And
Gacho
what?
comes second and GC
They're
gets
over the top,
eliminated.
heading down the other side at a bare lick. Will they
Oh,
be able to get
we
some
have the
distance?
final standings of Group B, by the way. Jackson just mentioned them, and I'm gonna say that it Gogo winning the Group 240, so that's money for me. Swaxon second qualified as well, 182. Alder third, 140 qualified as well. Uh, Gacho second NGC, no points, no KOM, one stage win only. That's 25 points. And in the other three stages, he got 2 points on stage two. That's it. Fourth place at 127, Ben Young 57, and Tim sixth and last 40 points. Yeah, Dennis Magnets would be proud indeed. And actually, that's some very good money for me. $100. I think it was 10 that I bet at. No, not 100. It was 6 odds maybe. 60 bucks. I think it was 6 odds. All right. That's exactly why I bet on Gog. I thought he was being, but of course it's Miko odds. He was being very underrated on those odds.
He did a good attack. Him and Gacho did a good attack on the last stage. It's a perfect example of attacks can work.
Wow, Goga did an attack. Stop the presses, everyone.
Hmm.
Goga's cool, but I don't really like his playing style. And speaking of playing style, the gap is still holding steady for the second group. It's still around 30, 40, 140, give or take.
Yeah, I'm literally. Who you got? You got Hubie and Bush.
It's Yubi and Hush in E1. I know
Who's
it was
behind?
Bosco and El Colombiano in A1, and A2 is Ghosty and Bravo, actually, which is the
Yeah,
second place in GC.
unless this has been raced really hard already, like, but I think they might have this. If they can keep their 78s over, because I think my 80 mount, no 79 mountain had a 3 minute margin at before the the really steep climb,
Oh,
the plateau big killer race.
I just got pinged by Miko on Game Center. I just saw it now. It was also 4 minutes ago only. So he was saying to Ninja GG for your money, and then pinged me same here. I mean, was there any doubt?
Yeah, the thing is they can save their yeah. Basically, you have your 79 mounted 3 minutes up the road before the plateau, the really steep climb. You just struck. He still didn't make it with me. He still survived. Had he survived, there might have been a chance, but the only thing I can say is I haven't seen how hard it's been raced by the 83 mountains, but if they can
It's
keep,
actually been an intense race.
yeah, that's the only thing I've not checked. Both in Frabo and Trouble, I think.
Oh, there's
They need to get
serious, serious
they
trouble for Bravo there.
they need to get rid of. They literally have
It's in
to get
such
rid of
percentages
Frabo.
that the strongest can create some
And
gaps.
meanwhile, they extended the gap at the end of the third climb of the day, a second cat. It's already almost 2 minutes, and they still have a helper with them. Uh, actually, Pino trying to preserve his QB as well with Kamna and has the helper behind, and they will succeed. And there we go.
We're into the last third of the race. We'll soon know the final
And
outcome.
quickly check A4, A4, A1. South Colombiana and Basso still. So Ghosty and Frabo still very, very muddled right now. So we might have uh,
They're
GC
heading downhill,
changes
so they've got to make
uh,
sure to keep warm and make
if
no
these
mistakes
gaps
on their
uh,
trajectory.
remain. But for Hush, it's not looking as bad right now. He was 3 minutes down. Obviously, he's still 3 minutes down from the yellow jersey because he's with him. But everyone else right now is virtually behind Hush and Yubi, of course, that is the leader. Oh yeah, and the mayor reminding me that if Hush actually passes El Colombiano on your strategy C, it will look bad for Basra. It's looking bad for Basra in terms of passing because that could probably place him out. So, you guys think that Hush can do this comeback?
Uh,
I don't know. To be honest, I
the
feel
gap
like
2 minutes. It might. I think it'll come down. I think it will come down a
It
little
will
bit.
for sure. The thing
Yeah,
is,
it will. But it won't come down 2 minutes. I don't think.
yeah, and Frabo will still Frabo's still losing time here. Because he was 30 seconds off, so he had 2.5 minutes on
Oh,
Hushi,
tu te
give or
fous de
take.
qui avec ton barème? Tu te fous de qui avec ton barème de merde? Tu te fous de qui avec ton barème? Oh!
Can you kick that idiot, please, Emma?
He's trying to speak, and I think his mic is muted. But no,
Thank
I
you.
know. Ahmed did not. Even though Ahmed's server muted him, he was actually muted. I couldn't even hear a single word.
I would like to
Oh, that's
inform
why I've got
people
you the
that
volume on.
this this moment was sponsored by Gacho is an idiot. Gacho is an idiot in PCM since what 2021, something
This
like that.
climb features some
22
No,
dreadful
maybe.
percentages.
never mind. It turns out I had him on user volume 0.
Oh yeah, no, but Emma server muted
Yeah.
him.
I mean that also helps as well.
I would have actually kicked him to be honest. He already had like 200 warnings at this point. To need to 4 or 5. Seriously speaking, but that would be me. And this is the magic of doing live streams. I love it. I love it. Ooh, ooh, Walter was alone. Oh, this
Yeah, but it won't matter. Colombiano will be alone. Quick.
damn.
Yeah.
This race is getting interesting. This is a very steep climb. Surviving this, they will at least go for the stage way for sure. And they are on a good way to do that.
they have to work well together though, because that last climb
Yeah.
was very much full splat. So
True, true.
Yeah, they've got to work together.
Yeah, they
They
definitely
just,
need to keep a decent gap for the downhill and reach it in the front. That is.
I don't know what Ghost is doing. I think Ghosty you can say goodbye
I don't
to
know if
right
Ghost was
now.
caught in two minds trying to save the 78 guy.
No point. He'll be done. He'll be done.
Yeah, I think
He'll,
Ghosty completely throwing away his chances right now. He's off, and let's
main thing is
let's
they've got to get over with a little bit of bar.
yeah, that's what I'm actually trying to see if they can do it or not. Let's see.
I mean, even if they're both dead, if they're both relay 60, one of them will recover enough to take it to them.
Yeah.
Pino is actually doing well. That was a 141 at the top. They still have a little bit of flat before entering the downhill.
They've both just got to go for it now.
The
They
riders
both
Yeah.
need
have,
to
yeah,
push
work
above
together.
10%.
They go. They go.
Oh, Ghosty in deep trouble. Really behind right now. He's
But
off.
yeah,
He's completely off.
Bravo and Ghosty are in big trouble. Both of them are
Yeah,
very good.
Frabo is completely decimated here in terms of GC at this point.
He might still salvage third if Ghost can get to him and they work together.
Yeah, other
Although
than that,
it
it's
can't be
looking
played to him.
pretty bad for him. As Joe said, yeah, I think that's his only shot right now, is if Ghosty can get there, because he can't really wait for him either, because that would just
And
be
yeah, he's waited up front, but it was only 10 seconds anyway. If they can work together, he might salvage it because he's got 3 minutes. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
2.5 actually to Hush because Hubie had 30 seconds.
No, yeah, I know he's going to lose it to Hush, but I mean he's going to try salvage third place is what I'm saying to Basso and El Colombiano.
Yeah, yeah, and he probably, unless Ghosty has, yeah, Ghosty's there. Let's, I assume Ghosty. Yeah, I see 222, so Ghosty is there, and he was. 2.5 behind. I don't remember how far Basso was, to be honest. El Colombiano was third.
3 minutes.
No, El Colombiano was 1.5 down because he was also on a break at some point. In the stage that Frabo gained time because he was in the same break as them, but he just lost a bit of time in the end, but still ahead of everyone else. So it's interesting. 2 minutes. Let's see if what they can do in this final climb.
Yeah, that's basically. I think they even increased by 15 seconds over the top. Interestingly.
It's also not the longest of climbs either, and not the steepest for sure. So 6.3 kilometers. 2 minutes. Hush and Yubi seem to be on a good understanding. Basso and
Only
El
15 kilometers
Colombiano.
left.
Uh, the only thing they are desperately trying to right now is to keep those two behind, Hershey and from Bravo and Buchman from the Buchman. 2 minutes.
Oh no, Fabio! I don't want Fabio
Yeah,
to
El
keep going.
Colombiano was
There you go.
127 down exactly. So he was like 1 minute ahead of Bravo. And quite honestly, he has double right now.
If Framo finishes ahead of Basso in GC, I wonder if he goes through the third place.
It is possible. Let me
Because
quickly check.
Hubie is going through. That's pretty much set in stone. Push is going to come second in GC potentially, but obviously he doesn't really have very many classifications.
Bravo is still safe if he doesn't fall that far, obviously.
If
Which
he comes third in GC,
Only 10 kilometers
he
left.
should be good. But I think El Colombiano is actually going to take
They can go flat
him
out to the
over.
finishing line at the bottom, but they've
yeah,
got to
and
Yeah, I
watch their
believe so.
trajectory on the way down.
if both Hush and El Colombiano take him over, yeah, he might be in real trouble.
I'd like to announce some breaking news.
The riders are in a portion
Everyone,
above
Shoot.
10%.
Cacho has left the server.
Oh, I'm so shocked and appalled. This is so bad. Oh no, oh no. Anyway, 9 kilometers to go in the no 6. Sorry, in the front group. Yeah, there we go. 5-9. Gonna be a sprint between
There are
UB
just
and
5 kilometers left.
Hush.
I think Hush is still out though, because he's only going to get third in GC. I think. Because
Yeah,
if El Colombiano can
A
bring it
rider
back,
has
then
just
I
climbed
think it
into the
might be
supported
between El
vehicle.
Colombiano and
His
Basso
race
for
is
the
over.
for the third spot, yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, Hush is only gonna get third in GC.
They both
So yeah,
misjudged it, by the way. They both misjudged this finish.
yeah, but I think Hush is gonna take the stage win. Oh no, he's not. No, he's not. He dies. He dies. But he still has it. He still has
Oh
enough gas.
no, 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 no!
We're waiting for the back markers,
Hubie's
who
Oh,
letting
appear
him
to be
win the
fairly
stage.
numerous in this difficult
oh,
race.
yeah. Now I see that was just well. Maybe they actually did a deal on that. It would make sense because UB didn't need the
I
stage win.
mean, yeah, that's true, but if the classifications,
Oh dear.
yeah,
Oh
it,
dear.
Yeah, but
that
that
might
was
change.
yeah, but it's not like that's legal or anything. He said, "Okay, I'll help you. We'll both gain time, and I'll give you the stage win because all I want is the gap." So and the KOM points.
Wait till they see this back on stream.
UV
The
completely had
thing
full
is, though,
stop there.
thing is, even if you do that, you just purposefully mistime your sprint, or you just stay in the wheel, don't you? You don't.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, you shouldn't really do that in any
He
circumstance. But
went full stop there. Jesus. But still, it is what it is. It's not
the
an
last
illegal move.
time I
Yeah.
saw you do that was mean Team World Cup.
Oh, I
Wait, what?
remember.
What happened
It
in
was
Team World Cup?
the last stage of in life.
I.
Campbell may
They,
have gone
they,
maintain.
yeah, may have gone like maintain like
Oh right, right,
advancing in
right.
second.
I totally don't know what you're talking about. Totally not.
To be honest, though,
So
it was to our benefit because we finished second in the road classification.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
illegal in any way. So yeah,
and
Frabo
I
was
will tell you, when I,
sixth even
when
at this stage.
when I actually did it, I thought it was getting us the gold medal, but at least it got us the silver instead of the bronze. But it did
Yeah.
work.
All right, so stage points only puts Yubi with 60, Hush 50, Basso 45, Ghosty 29, Alcomer 29, Frabo 19 only, because he didn't score on this stage, he was last, sixth and last. Joke, it's inline mode. Prepare to ban me during 1 year, the fire is coming, says Gacho. It's inline mode.
Oh, I did tell Edu what he wrote to me in DMs yesterday evening. Like,
Oh,
there's a lot of like, blah
oh,
blah
there we
blah.
see it. There we see it. He was with plenty of energy there, and then we already skipped. But yeah, he does the full stop there. I was actually looking at Hush at the time, and I thought he was lying, but then I actually looked, and yeah, he completely did a full stop. So two fifty
Oh
six.
no, no, hush! I don't think he's taken second in GC by 4 seconds there, but
He does though.
that is the bonus seconds that he got from coming first instead of second.
Yep.
So this could
Give me
change a lot actually. He would have been on the same time. Whether he would have taken the GC on the same time, I don't know. But
And Yubi takes the KOM.
Oh,
Oh, this is this was quite the ending, to be honest. Very good ending. Very
if I
fun.
know Cumbiano, I'm fuming right now. But I don't think he can necessarily cover himself in glory.
I'm actually looking at this discussion in Discord now. Quite interesting.
remember when we had like, I would say an opposite example of in Champions League a few years ago when literally like Matteo, who was it? Maybe just stopped Matteo.
Yeah,
Yeah, deal was him, KOM, and GC, and Hush the stage. Yeah, this is okay. There's nothing illegal in that. It benefited both, to be honest.
indeed.
That might be the thing that gets him.
It's
So
perfectly
far.
legal. So that was quite the entertaining ending.
And that stage is, let's just not say it, but that stage, interesting.
Uh, quick announcement that I just realized. Ben Young's 50-point penalty was, I think, rightfully reverted because he had a valid reason to not play the last game. I think that's pretty fair and pretty good thing to do. But for every other player, it will be a sanction if it happens. I agree. We agree, as someone would say. I don't know who. All right, final classification is here, ladies and gentlemen. UB unsurprisingly wins with an amazing performance, 255 points, leads the group. 100 more than second place Hirsch saves his race on the final stage with a remontada, very good one. Basso actually salvages this and passes in third place,
Oh,
140 points. Al Colombiano fourth, 97. Fravo fell down the order from second to fifth, 89 points. And Ghosty was sixth and last, 79, only 10 points behind Frabo. So uh, he lost 45 points from the GC. And of course, Hush gained the second place points, and Basso still managed to stay ahead of El Colombiano. That was quite entertaining. Thank you for that update, Emil.
It's a very hush way to go through to the next round as well. Not picking up very many KOM or points jersey points, but making sure he's there in the GC and
Yeah,
obviously
that was quite entertaining. I wish I wasn't almost losing my voice at that point because I would have shown a bit more enthusiasm. But I'm glad I actually managed to do the whole stream. Let's see if someone joins for interviews. But first of all, since you guys are already here, I'm gonna talk to Swexen. That was actually racing. Swexen, how was your group? Because I didn't see. I just saw the GCs. So
very. Actually, you know what? It was interesting. Very interesting. Not
I thought he was very happy with the situation. What happened to him?
to Gacho.
Yeah, that amazing play.
Um, he basically just said everyone will sucks him, but we all know his gameplay by now. It's just not very optimized, to be honest.
Right.
And I think,
So
yeah, and I think eventually, like, it got to a point. I think it was after I attacked on like a small false flat before the penultimate climb on stage 3. I just said to him, "If you're not happy, just don't work." And he stopped started again, stopped, started again in terms of like moving forwards. But yeah, I don't know what was going on behind. And I don't even know how he got same time actually as everyone else. Like that was the funny part about it. So the others must have messed up.
Oh, actually,
I
also
don't.
making a good point here. Sorry to interrupt. He was fuming internally at El Colombiano for not taking one relay when he had to preserve his lead over Hush and GC to pass, and he failed to do so. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I think yeah, literally that. I think Colombiano yeah should have worked more. But at the end of the day, it was his responsibility.
I'm not
it did.
that surprised though with El Colombiano. I
Oh no,
feel
it's
that
not a surprise.
No, not at all. And as much as we try to tell him what to improve, he doesn't listen. I like him. He's not a bad guy, but I think he should sometimes listen. Some of the things the more experienced players say. I'm not even talking about me right now. I'm talking about Joe's, the Swagsters, the many people that tell him, okay, you could do this better, like this. So
Yeah,
there's that. Uh,
in
as you
stage
can
four.
see,
Oh,
yeah, you were
yeah,
saying, Swago? No, no.
then you can say about stage four.
Oh, yes. What happened in stage four? I was curious about that one,
I mean,
actually.
to be honest, they just went on a kamikaze attack, Goga and Gacho. I was like, okay, I'll hopefully just play the long game. It turns out the long game didn't actually work.
Oh,
I think so. It's just again, it's like similar to Group A, even though I think Group A was more aggressive, aggressively based. You saw how attacks were easily able to stave off, and even though I think they had less green, they were still only losing a few, like half a minute, I would say, on the climb. Like again, it was like 2 minutes, but they had more green, so of course the gap barely went down. So,
yeah. Oh,
it's one of those things. You live and you learn.
by the
I
way, we have an official announcement from PCM Italia's dictator, Emea the 90th, that succeeded Emea the 89th in ITA and succeeded himself and Aquarius as IMA president. Uh, it's a warning to outlaws for insulting the organizer in private after the game. Being the fifth warning, the player takes a matchday ban, therefore is disqualified from inline semifinals.
right,
And
oh, thank you
uh,
for
also,
which
a declaration from PCM Italia. It's inline mode, which is a quote from Gacho.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you come second and don't get many points elsewhere. Yes, he won the stage, but I'm sorry, he
we
didn't
If
even
it's
saw in
actually.
too
we
little,
saw
too late, it's not gonna do miracles.
we
Didn't
saw in
even.
every group the GC is the bread and butter, but you can't expect to go through coming second in GC and doing nothing in the KOMs. I mean,
Yeah,
Exactly.
Even Hush did that and he went through. So
yeah. There is just a big difference. Like he got no. Like Goku and Aldo were going for KOMs. I was going for the intermediate sprints. I was like Gachu. What did Gachu go for? Like
Um,
nothing.
Nothing. I'm going to assume.
a
He was
mental
going for
breakdown.
nothing.
That's what he went for.
All right. Basso is actually here. Basso, welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Man, that wasn't easy. That wasn't easy at all, right?
That was weird. Uh,
Uh,
it it was exciting, I must say. Well, I have to upload the explorers. Just
you were in a situation where you were together with El Colombiano. Hirsch was doing a great comeback, doing his attack, doing what he had to. Yubi took advantage of that to work with him and increase his gap, making sure he would definitely win. And El Colombiano, who unsurprisingly uh, did not put one single relay, and yet that was costing him his actual spot in the final. Were you surprised with that?
I was internally fuming at Elko. Like it was. I wanted to kill him at that moment because like it was his duty to overtake Hush. It's like only if he overtakes Hush he can pass. But seemingly he didn't understand that, so like I had to do it all alone. But sure. Uh,
Yeah,
then
and then the end, he didn't even take that not working to try and gain time on you. Nothing, just
yeah,
following along.
I mean, no comment. Deserved top three, I think. Well,
No comment usually means yes, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, and yeah, I'm personally gonna say I'm not surprised by the situation. I mean, we've been playing this for a while. We already know what some of the players are not only capable of doing, but what is their go-to move in case that of things going wrong. And for El Colombiano, uh, not working at situations like this, it's not unusual for me. But also, you kept your cool, and you actually managed to come third and pass. Were you panicking along the stage, or did you think, no, I can actually do this even alone?
I mean, I focused on the secondary classifications because, like, mm, what else could I do? I
Uh,
knew the fourth stage wasn't gonna end in like a big sprint of six riders, because everyone would attack. It's the last stage of tour, so some breaks would go. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna preserve my KOM. I actually wrote to Finn, I think, asking him whether I should go for KOM or for the stage, in the last stage. I mean, where I should attack early and perhaps lose the stage, but get 35 points for KOM. But I decided against, and it was probably the right choice.
yeah, and it worked well for you. Let me just quickly recheck the GC. Yeah, because you ended up with 43 points over Alcoven, so it actually worked quite well.
Yeah, it's preparation for the World Cup. So
You think you have a shot at doing better in the final?
I hope so. I think the stages suit me better than than
All right,
the more
and
bars than.
and for the World Championships, you still seeking those medals?
I am, yeah, yeah. So
All right.
I play terribly, but still fast, which I think is a good sign.
Well, as Joe pointed out earlier, definition of a good player is managing to make it happen even when playing bad. So congratulations, best of luck, and thank you so much for being here, Vassal.
Thank you too. See ya.
All right. Sorry, yeah. Did someone say something?
I just said see ya.
All right. See you, Vassal. Thank you for being here. Yubi, good evening. That was a remarkable semifinal for you. GC win. Uh, an offensive playing style that actually worked out for you. You played very well. You dominated this group. Uh, I'm assuming you didn't expect to win with this big margin.
Definitely not. I guess I have a chance at the start because I think many good players and often there is a possibility there to attack them, especially in this lobby. But that it worked that well, I didn't expect.
But you still managed to do very good and keeping your calm with everything that was going on, focusing on what you needed, which obviously already being in first was easier, but still on that third stage you actually took that big move. Did you think it could be a move to secure your GC back then, or were you just trying to maybe get some KOM points? What was the goal?
On the third stage, it
On
was
the third, yeah.
I think it was just intuition. I saw Basel making up the gap, and I thought, okay, let's go with Frabo or at least try to catch him, and let's see. I just thought there. So it was not planned. It wasn't to be there to secure GCC. It was just I want to attack somehow, and Basel gave me the chance in opening the gap, and yeah, so it
I
happened.
think, yeah, I think it actually worked out well for you. It's just some good evolution on your playing style that you were actually able to take the opportunity, go with it, and do very well, man. What's the goal when it comes to this final?
Top three is something I aim for. Will be hard, but when I can do a second good performance like today, I think it's possible, but you never know. You can be first, you can be last. It's really decided by daily form, I think. And so I will see what will be the final result of tour then.
All right, Yubi. Best of luck not only for the final but for the World Championships as well. I hope everything goes well to you, and thank you so much for being here, man. That was an impressive semifinal from you.
Thank you.
All right, and as we near the end of the stream, we also have our final sponsor of the day. These interviews were brought to you by our final sponsor of the night in this case. Uh, to our viewers, greetings. I am excited to announce that our interviews are proudly sponsored by Got Your Rage Clinics. You may be wondering, what exactly is Got Your Rage? Well, let me tell you, it's the only clinic in town that can take your explosive fits of anger and transform them into something more productive. Like, for example, a possible life sentence for murder. And let's not forget the famous success stories like Bruce Banner, who was transformed into the Hulk thanks to Gotcha Rage clinics. And if that wasn't enough, they even come recommended by a certain individual named Anders Breivik. Although, let's not dwell on that too much. The bottom line is, if you're struggling with your skills or just need an excuse for your shortcomings, Gotcha Rage clinics is the way to go. Because who needs personal growth and development when you can just blame everything on your inner rage, right? So that was our
Yes.
final
Oh.
sponsor of the day. Got to. You actually had to deal with him for the entire semifinal. Was it as fun as it looks like?
Oh god, it's hilarious when he's like the only person, and everyone's just like thinking, "What the fuck is this kid up to?"
Right, kid.
I mean, I wouldn't need to face him in now because
Oh,
I didn't even
give me
make.
10 seconds.
Oh dear. Welcome to the Gacho Show. But only he is right, according to
Indeed.
him
And then
himself.
insults everyone.
Yeah.
So usual gotcha doing gotcha things.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
I'd actually like to ask Emira, since we're about to close the stream. Uh, he's in the fifth warning. Are you a man of the seven warning policy?
Hmm? What's that?
Asking Emir, asking Emir, since Gotch was already on his fifth warning, if he is one of the believers in the seven warning policy. Oh, from six you can be excluded. That's a lot of warnings. All right, he's the sixth man warning, the sixth warning man. So tomorrow, schedule you were saying about.
Oh dear. Oh,
Uh, I might actually do a sponsor for the next stream that includes the seven-man warning as well. So tomorrow's schedule is inline semifinals. Group A: Basso, ASG, Nautilus, UV, El Colombiano, and Libra. Semifinal Group B: uh, Daniel, Miko, Alder, Ghosty, Goga, Gabi, Benyang.
oh,
Stage
I,
one.
oh, I feel sorry for them because they've got to race stage two to finish up the Calder Montgomery. It's not a finishing climb, for fuck's sake.
Well, at least it's inline and not tour. Although that stage was fun, even not ending on the summit finish. But for different reasons, it was actually fun. So stages is pretty much first stage has two climbs. Before that, flat. Afterwards, flat as well. Might be interesting for some attacks. Stage two is indeed, as Swexon said, a mountain stage. And the third stage is pretty much hilly, and after a fourth cat, a small downhill with a flat sprint. So we're gonna close the stream. Be sure to be here tomorrow for the inline semifinals, in which Gacho has been disqualified, which is a shame, as we will not have some very missed entertainment. So, Joe, Flexen, thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Uh, with your great help. Also, Emel, thank you for the amazing direction as always. I'll see you all back probably tomorrow. I think I'll be here for N-Line if everything goes well, and also in the upcoming World Championships. Don't miss that. That's the peak that we all wait for, the great moment we all wait for the entire season, the World Championships, and it's getting closer and closer. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you when I